In this episode, you're going to experience what happens when you deliberately shift your phase state, when you stop trying to create wealth and instead sync up with the abundance frequency that's been right there all along this whole time. Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I'm your host, Brian Scott, and today's activation is the Wealth Phase Shift Activation. Two versions of your financial reality are occupying the same space. One phase is vibrating at scarcity, the other at abundance. They're both here, both real, both generating their own interference patterns in the field of your experience. What nobody tells you about wealth is you're not broke because you lack money. You're broke because you phase locked to the frequency where money doesn't exist for you yet. Just think about radio stations. They're all broadcasting through your room right now. Country music, talk radio, classical, news, all of them are passing through the same air, the same space, completely overlapping. But your radio only plays one station at a time because it's tuned to one specific frequency. Your consciousness works the same way with financial realities. There's a version of your life where money flows, where opportunities appear, where wealth feels natural. It's broadcasting right now through your body, through this room, through every moment of your day. You've been tuned to a different station. We're about to change the dial. Not through willpower, not through affirmations, through something more fundamental. We're going to shift the actual phase relationship between your awareness and the field of abundance that's already present. This isn't manifestation as you've known it. This is phase mechanics, wave function technology, the actual physics of how consciousness locks onto one reality frequency while others fade into background noise. In this episode, you're going to experience what happens when you deliberately shift your phase state, when you stop trying to create wealth and instead sync up with the abundance frequency that's been right there all along this whole time. Some of you will feel this immediately, kind of perceptual click, like something falling into place. Others will notice it later when money starts appearing in ways that feel both surprising and somehow inevitable. Either way is perfect. Because phase shifts don't happen in your mind. They happen in the field, in the quantum substrate where your consciousness interfaces with material reality. I want you to notice something unusual about your current financial experience. Not judge it, not fix it, just notice it. Every time you think about money, there is a frequency you drop into, a particular vibration. Most people never become conscious of this. They just feel it as anxiety or desire, or that heavy sense of not enough, or I'm just tired of thinking of money. But what if that feeling is not emotional? What if it's informational? What if it's your consciousness detecting which phase you're currently locked into? Right now, tune into your body's response when I say this. Money flows to me easily. Say that and tune in to your body. Notice what happens. Not your thoughts about it, the actual sensation, the shift in your field. Some of you felt resistance, a kind of pushing back. That's not just psychological, that's phase interference. You're out of sync with that statement. So when it enters your field, it creates destructive interference, cancellation. That's why affirmations often fail. You're trying to force coherence while remaining in the wrong phase. Others felt nothing, neutrality. That's also phase information. You're not resonating with abundance, but you're also not strongly locked into scarcity. You're in between, undefined. That's actually a useful state for what we're about to do. And a few of you, maybe just a few, felt something open, a sense of yes in your body. Recognition. That's phase coherence starting to establish. You're already closer to the shift than you realize. Here's what's happening at the quantum level. Your consciousness exists as a wave function. It's not solid, it's not fixed. A pattern of probability that's constantly interfacing with other wave patterns in the field. Money is also a wave function, not the paper, not the numbers in your account, the actual field of financial possibility. The morphic field of exchange, value, prosperity, it's a real thing with its own frequency signature. When your wave and money's wave are in phase, peaks aligning with peaks, valleys with valleys, you experience constructive interference, amplification. Money appears in your life, not because you attracted it, but because you're finally oscillating at the same frequency. You're visible to each other. When you're out of phase, you experience destructive interference. The waves cancel. Money moves around you, through you, past you, completely undetected, just like the radio waves. Not because you're unlucky, because you're vibrating at an offset that makes wealth invisible to your particular frequency. This is why some people seem to effortlessly generate money while others struggle despite working harder. It's not about worthiness. It's about your phase relationship. And phases can shift instantly, completely, in one single moment. That's what we're here to do. Notice your breathing now. Don't change it. Just observe the rhythm, the wave pattern of breath moving through you. Inhalation, exhalation. Inhalation, exhalation. Your breath is teaching you something about phase. It never tries to inhale and exhale simultaneously. It doesn't force. It shifts between states naturally, effortlessly, following the wave pattern that sustains your life. Financial phase shifting works the same way. You don't force yourself into abundance. You allow the natural oscillation to move you from one state to another. You tune the radio dial. Right now, I want you to become aware of the space between your thoughts. Not the thoughts themselves, the space, the gaps, the quiet. Nothing between something. That space is where phase shifts occur. Not in the noise, in the silence between signals. Your old financial frequency is weakening. Not because you're fighting it, because we're withdrawing from it. When you stop feeding a frequency with your awareness, it loses coherence. It begins to dissolve. And in that dissolution, there's a moment, a brief, quantum, almost imperceptible moment where you exist in superposition, where you're not locked into any particular financial phase, where all possibilities are equally available. We are approaching that moment now. There's a place between frequencies where nothing is certain. You are entering it now. This is the space where your wave function hasn't collapsed yet, where your financial reality exists in pure potential. Multiple amounts, multiple timelines, multiple versions of wealth, all superimposed, all possible. In quantum mechanics, they call this the transition state, the moment before a particle chooses its position, before the wave becomes a thing. You're in that moment with your finances right now. Most people never consciously experience this space. They jump from one financial frequency to another unconsciously, reactively, pulled by circumstance and conditioning. They never realize they're the one choosing which phase to lock into. But you're here, aware, present, in the space where choice actually exists. And here's what is available to you right now. Every version of your financial life is present. The version where you struggle, the version where you're comfortable, the version where wealth flows so naturally you forget what scarcity even felt like, They're all here, all broadcasting, all accessible. The question isn't how do I create abundance? The question is which frequency am I going to phase lock into? Imagine you're holding a tuning fork. The abundance frequency, when you strike it, begins to vibrate at a very specific rate. 432 hertz, the frequency of natural harmony. Now imagine there's another tuning fork nearby, currently silent. That's you, your consciousness, your energy field. When the abundance tuning fork vibrates, something remarkable happens. You begin to vibrate too. Not because you're trying, because resonance is automatic, because waves sync with waves, because phase coherence is the natural state when two frequencies are compatible. This is called entrainment, and it's happening right now. Listening to this just puts you in the same room and you start vibrating at that same frequency. The abundance frequency is sounding, and your field is beginning to match it, peak for peak, wave for wave. The phase relationship is shifting from destructive interference to constructive amplification. You might feel this as warmth, or tingling, or a subtle sense of expansion in your chest. Or you might feel nothing at all because some phase shifts are silent at the conscious level. They happen deeper in the field itself. Trust what's happening. Now I want you to imagine something very specific, a future moment when money arrives, not someday, a real moment. You're checking your phone or opening an envelope or having a conversation, and boom, there it is, money, more than you expected, easier than you thought. Don't visualize the details. Just feel the frequency of that moment. The particular vibration of money is here. That feeling has a phase signature, a specific wave pattern. And when you tune into it, really tune into it, something shifts in the present moment. The future frequency begins broadcasting backwards through time into now. This is retrocausality, the future affecting the past. Quantum mechanics proves this happens. Your consciousness is doing it right now. As you hold that future frequency in your awareness, notice the present moment begins to reorganize. Thoughts shift, energy moves, and the field responds. You're not trying to make anything happen. You're establishing phase coherence with a timeline where money flows. And the moment you lock into that phase, reality begins conforming to match the frequency. This is how wealth actually works, not through effort, through resonance. Think about every wealthy person you know. Not the ones who inherited it, the ones who generated it. There's something different about their energy, a frequency they carry. They're not smarter than you, not more disciplined, not more worthy. They just phase locked into a specific frequency of abundance and money. Their wave function oscillates at the money frequency naturally, unconsciously, constantly. So money finds them. Opportunities appear, ideas come, resources flow. It's not from luck. It's not because they were in the right place at the right time, although that's part of it. They phase shifted into wealth, and you're moving into that same phase state now. There's a version of you that already lives there, future you, the one who looks back at this moment and remembers when everything shifted, when phase coherence clicked into place and wealth became the new normal. The version of you is reaching back right now, extending a frequency, an invitation, a harmonic that your present self can entrain to. Feel for it, not with your mind, with your field, with the subtle awareness that exists beneath thought. There, that's it, that subtle pull, that sense of something opening, aligning, clicking into resonance. That's the phase shift beginning now. Your old financial frequency, scarcity, struggle, limitation, it's still broadcasting, but it's getting quieter, losing coherence like a radio station fading as you drive away from its tower. And the abundance frequency is getting stronger, clearer, more present. You're not between frequencies anymore. You're in the new one, phase-locked, entrained, synchronized. Money is no longer something you seek, it's something you're in phase with. Now that you're in the new phase, we're going to stabilize it, lock it in, make it your new default frequency. Think of it like this. You've tuned to a new radio station, but your hand is still on the dial. We need to let go, to trust that the frequency will hold without constant adjustment. This is where most people lose the shift. They touch the new frequency, feel it, then immediately start questioning, testing, doubting, and doubt is just another frequency, one that's out of phase with abundance. So they lose the lock and slide back to familiar territory. We're not doing that. Instead, you're going to notice something. The abundance phase has its own gravitational field, its own coherence. It wants to maintain itself. Your job is not to hold it. Your job is to stop disrupting it. Imagine standing in a river. The current is flowing toward abundance, toward wealth, toward ease. You don't have to swim. You just have to stop swimming upstream. Every thought of, but how will this work, is swimming upstream. Every moment of checking your bank account with anxiety is swimming upstream. Every time you tell the old story about why money is hard for you, upstream. But here's the beautiful thing. You don't have to fight those thoughts. You don't have to eliminate doubt. You just have to recognize them as the old frequency, still broadcasting in the background, and choose not to entrain to them. It's like being in a room where two songs are playing. You can listen to either one, but your attention determines which one becomes your experience. The abundance phase is playing right now, loud, clear, and strong. And every time you notice yourself drifting toward the old frequency, toward worry, toward lack, toward fear, toward not enough, you simply notice and shift your attention back to the new frequency. Not forcefully, gently, the way you'd adjust a dial, just a slight turn back to center over time. And it doesn't take as long as you think. The new frequency becomes automatic, your default, your nervous system's new baseline. When that happens, you don't have to think about abundance anymore. You just live from it. Now let's deepen the phase lock with something specific. I want you to identify 3 financial facts that would be true if you were already phase locked to abundance. For now, not I win the lottery. That's a different phase shift. Real believable facts. Maybe it's my business generates consistent income, or I always have enough for what I need, or money appears through unexpected channels. Just choose 3. Let them arise naturally. Whatever comes to mind, write them down. Once you have them, here's the key. Those aren't future statements. Those are phase-specific truths. They are already true in the abundance frequency. You're not trying to make them true. You're acknowledging that they are true in the phase you've just shifted into. This is crucial. When you say, I will have money, you're reinforcing separation. You're saying, I'm here and money is somewhere else in the future. But when you recognize money flows to me as a phase-specific truth, as something that's true in the frequency you're now locked into, you're not waiting for anything. You are simply being in alignment with what already is. The money is not coming, it is here. You're just now vibrating at the frequency where you can perceive it. When something comes into phase, it's just like it just appears out of nowhere. Think about dark matter. Scientists know it exists because they can measure its gravitational effects, but they can't see it directly because they don't have instruments tuned to its frequency. Money you haven't received yet is like that. It's already affecting your field. It has gravitational pull, already pulling on your timeline, already present in the quantum foam of possibility. You just need to shift your phase to perceive it. You have now shifted. Now we're going to amplify the phase lock using a technique from wave mechanics. When two waves are perfectly in phase, they don't just coexist, they amplify each other. The peaks get higher, the energy intensifies. This is called constructive interference, and it's why phase coherence is so powerful. You're going to create constructive interference with the abundance field right now. Think of one specific way money could appear in your life. Not the only way, just one possible channel. A client, a sale, an opportunity, a gift, a payment, anything that comes to mind. Just think of something. I want you to hold on to that possibility lightly in your awareness. Don't grip it. Don't feel a desperate need for it. Just notice it as one wave in the field of financial possibilities. Now notice the universe is also holding that possibility. The field is broadcasting it. The probability a wave exists independent of your attention. Two waves, yours and the field's, both oscillating at the same frequency, both pointing toward the same outcome. When your wave and the field's wave sync up, when you are both in phase around the possibility, the amplitude doubles, the energy amplifies, the probability intensifies. This is how manifestation actually works. Not through force, through phase alignment, creating constructive interference. You've just amplified one probability wave. Now let it go. Release it back into the field. Trust that the amplification is done, the interference pattern is set, and the universe will handle the mechanics of physical manifestation. Your job was to establish phase coherence. The field's job is to collapse the wave function into material form. Everything comes from the field. Do you feel the difference? There's a lightness now, a sense of completion. You're not waiting for anything. You're simply in phase with wealth, and the natural consequence of that phase relationship is money appearing in your experience. It's physics, not faith, it's physics. Let yourself rest in this new frequency. Let it become familiar. Let your nervous system recalibrate to this new, normal, natural, and expected frequency. Abundance is not a peak experience you visit every once in a while. It's a phase state you live from continuously. Welcome to your new frequency. You've shifted phases. You've locked into abundance. It was that simple. Now we're going to ensure this becomes permanent. Phase coherence can be disrupted by stress, by old patterns, by sudden contrast between your new internal frequency and old external circumstances. But here's what you need to understand. Disruption does not mean failure. It means recalibration. When astronauts adjust a satellite's orbit, they don't get it perfect on the first try. They make small corrections, micro adjustments. The satellite drifts, they bring it back to center. Over time, it stabilizes. Your financial frequency works the same way. You'll have moments, maybe later today, maybe tomorrow, where you notice the old phase trying to reassert itself. Worry creeping in, doubt broadcasting, the feeling of not enough starting to play in the background. This is normal, expected, part of the integration process. When it happens, you don't panic. You don't decide the phase shift failed. You simply notice, there's the old frequency. It's still broadcasting, but I don't have to tune into it. And then you make a micro adjustment. You shift your attention back to the abundance phase, back to the frequency where money flows, where large sums of money come to you easily and quickly in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis. Right back to phase coherence. At first, you might need to do this multiple times a day. That's fine. Each time you make the adjustment, the new phase strengthens. The neural pathways deepen. The energetic pattern stabilizes. After a while, could be days, could be weeks, the abundance phase becomes your new default. Your nervous system's baseline and the old frequency, it fades into distant background noise, barely perceptible. Now let's install some automatic phase stabilizers. Think of these as programs that run in the background of your consciousness, keeping you locked into abundance even when you're not consciously thinking about it. Each morning before you fully wake up, before you check your phone, before you engage with the external world, I want you to just spend a few seconds sensing your financial frequency. Not thinking about it, sensing it, feeling for the vibration. If you notice you've drifted towards scarcity overnight, through dreams, through unconscious processing, through old conditioning, through unconscious patterning, you simply adjust. Just shift back into the abundance phase. Tune the dial. Lock in. Large sums of money are on their way. This 30-second practice prevents days where you operate from the wrong frequency without realizing it. Every time you spend money, no matter how small, you're going to do something unusual. You're going to feel the abundance frequency as you spend. Most people unconsciously shift to scarcity when spending. They feel money leaving, diminishing, creating lack. You're going to do the opposite. As money leaves your account, you're going to feel it as evidence of abundance. I have money to spend. Money flows through me. This spending creates space for more to arrive. Every transaction becomes a phase stabilizer, reinforcing your lock on the abundance frequency. Your brain has a negativity bias. It's wired to notice threats, problems, lack. This means it will automatically collect evidence that you're still in scarcity phase or that you don't even believe in this activation, even when you're not. So you're going to intentionally collect evidence of abundance daily. I'm not asking you to journal anything, just evidence collection. Every time money appears, a refund, a payment, finding $1 on the street, a penny, a friend buying you coffee, I want you to notice it. Catalog it. You acknowledge that's the abundance frequency manifesting in material form. Your brain will start looking for this evidence automatically. And what you look for, you amplify. The phase lock strengthens every time you notice money flowing towards you. These 3 stabilizers will maintain your phase coherence with minimal conscious effort. They become background programs, running automatically, keeping you locked into abundance. That's the morning frequency check, checking every time that you spend money, and then collecting evidence. Let's talk about something most manifestation teaching gets wrong: contrast. You've shifted phase. Your internal frequency is abundance, but your external circumstances might not reflect that yet. Maybe you live in a hovel. Maybe you don't even have a place to live. Your bank account might still show the old numbers. Your income might not have changed yet. This always creates contrast, and contrast can feel uncomfortable. It can make you doubt whether the phase shift really happened. Material reality always lags behind energetic shifts. Always. The field has to reorganize. Probabilities have to collapse. It has to appear natural in the simulation. Physical molecules have to rearrange themselves into new forms. This can take time. Not years, usually days or weeks. But it takes time. The mistake people make is they shift phase, look around, see nothing has changed externally yet, and interpret that as failure. So they shift back to the old frequency and the manifestation collapses before it even starts. You're not going to do that. You're going to hold phase coherence regardless of external evidence. You're going to trust that the field is reorganizing behind the scenes. You're going to know that just because you can't see money moving yet doesn't mean it isn't moving. Think about ordering something online. You click purchase. The transaction processes and then nothing. For days, the product isn't in your hands yet. No evidence it's coming, but you don't panic. You don't decide the purchase failed. You trust that behind the scenes, warehouses are moving, trucks are driving, delivery systems are working. The universe operates the same way. You've placed your order by shifting phase. The back end is processing, the delivery is in motion. Your job is to stay in the abundance frequency and let the mechanics unfold. The longer you hold phase coherence, the faster the external reality shifts to match. Because you're no longer sending mixed signals. You're broadcasting one clear frequency, and the field responds to clarity with efficiency. Some of you will see evidence within days, others within weeks. The timeline doesn't matter. What matters is you maintain phase lock until the material manifestation catches up to the energetic shift. And when that first evidence appears, the unexpected payment, the new opportunity, the money that shows up in a way you didn't anticipate, you'll know the phase shift was real, was permanent, was working all along. Now let's bring this home. You came in to this activation vibrating at one frequency. You are leaving vibrating at another. The old phase is still broadcasting. You can tune into it any time, but why would you? It leads to experiences you've already had. Financial struggle, limitation, the exhausting sense that money is hard and there will never be enough. The new phase, the abundance frequency, is also broadcasting. And now you know how to lock into it, how to maintain it, how to let it become your new normal. This isn't something you will have to consciously maintain forever. Sooner than you think, this will be just who you are. The person who naturally vibrates at the money frequency. The person opportunities find. The person for whom wealth flows. Not because you're special, because you're in phase. The phase is a choice, a tuning, a subtle adjustment that creates massive results. You have made that adjustment today. It is like magic, and yes, it's true. You can simply listen to a 30-minute podcast, completely go through a significant phase shift in your life. That's what just happened. Just like that. The frequency is locked. You chose to listen to this, to open yourself up to this frequency. And the field is responding. Money is moving. Can you feel it? Trust the process. Trust the physics. Trust that you're now operating from a completely different phase of financial reality. And everything that flows from that phase will be different too. Welcome to the wealth phase shift. You are home. Take a moment to notice how you feel now compared to when we started. Something has shifted. You may not be able to articulate it. That's okay. Phase shifts often happen below conscious awareness. But your field knows, your energy knows, and the universe definitely knows. You're broadcasting a different signal now, and every day that you maintain this frequency, the material world will reorganize to reflect it. When you're ready, bring your awareness back to the room around you, to your body, to the present moment, but notice the present moment feels different now. There's more space, more possibility, more ease. You're not imagining anything. That is phase coherence with abundance. Carry this frequency with you. Let it become as natural as breathing. Expand it. Bring others into this frequency. It is now as automatic as your heartbeat, as automatic as you taking the next breath, as automatic as you blinking your eyes. You don't have to try to be abundant anymore. You just have to stay in phase with abundance. And now you know how. You can find all episodes of The Reality Revolution at therealityrevolution.com. Join the Reality Revolution tribe with exclusive content and weekly Q&A and coaching sessions at school.com, skool.com/Reality Revolution. We are having such a great time over there, and I miss you. Join us. Sending all my love and light. And welcome to the Reality Revolution.